Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I'm so pumped. I'm gonna make this intro super short and sweet only because your girl got places to go. I'm actually getting ready for work, but I got something in the mail today that I just had to try. I'm really excited about this and I hope you guys are too. If you didn't already tell by the title, we're going to be playing with the Jaclyn Hill x Morphe Volume 2 palette that was released on the 13th of February. As I'm filming this, it is the 21st. I actually just got it in the mail. I was pressed when it was like taking forever to be shipped. I was really going through it. Like I was like, how long does it take y'all to process palettes? I don't know. Anyway, but I decided to do this makeup start to finish with you guys on my on my channel. Yeah, bitch, that's where we are. I decided to do this video start to finish with you guys, as it is like sort of like a get ready with me, but it is also a first impressions of this palette. Obviously, I did fill in my brows. I did a shitty job, but I digress. We're not gonna really touch on that. We are just gonna fix them and move forward. Before we go ahead and get started, I'm going to ask you guys to do me a small favor, of course. You guys know the deal. Subscribe to my channel. Come on, do it. Press that button. Just go ahead and subscribe. Stay up to date. I have a lot of videos coming for you within the next, I'm going to say 3 weeks, give or take. I'm really pumped. I'm not going to tell you guys what they are, of course. That would be spoiling the fun. But yeah, so definitely go ahead and subscribe. And of course, click the bell so you guys get notified when I post a video. Because subscribing, of course, is only going to get you so far. And then, of course, give this video a thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed it. Or now if you just feel like you're already enjoying this first, I don't know, minute that I've been talking. And of course, leave a comment in the comment box down below if you guys have something cute to say. So, without further ado, let's just get started. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I did my brows, but my skin has absolutely nothing else on it. So I'm going to start off by toning. This is the Ole Henriksen. I never say this right, so I'm going to read it. Balancing Balancing Force Oil Control Toner. This is my, wow, really? Come on. This is like my baby. I love this toner. I swear by it. I don't care what anybody says. Next, I'm gonna give myself a little spritz of my Tatcha Dewy Mist. This winter, for some reason, despite how it's not been freezing cold, I've been having super dry skin. I don't know if it's also because I started using a retinol, like dark spot treatment. But I've just noticed that my skin has been a little bit drier than what I like. So I've been adding the Dewy Mist to my pre-makeup application. And it's been working. Alright, moving on. I am going to prime my lids with my Tatcha. I'm going through it, guys. Going through it. I'm barely into this video and I'm already fucked up. I'm going to start by going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, just to set my eyes. The shade that I'm using for reference is Tan Sand. I'm sorry, Tan Sand. I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? And I'll use this opportunity to clean up my brows and, of course, set my eyelids to prepare them for eyeshadow. I was like, oh, it's happening, people. It's happening. I've been like not like harshly cleaning up my brows lately, but just because I feel like they haven't needed it. It's like been a combination of like me liking a more natural looking brow finish and me having gotten better at doing my brows, so I don't really need it. But today, honey, these eyebrows are not sisters, they're not twins, they're not cousins, they're like two strangers who met on vacation and we'll never see each other again. That's where we're at today with the brows. Alright, I feel like that already looks so much better because literally the way they were looking a second ago was borderline scary. Also, disclaimer, if you guys hear that like sound in the back, it's just because I live in New York and it's freaking cold outside and my heat is blaring. So there's that. Alright guys, so jumping into the star of the show today, besides myself, of course, is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette with Morphe. And I'm going to show you guys the palette really quickly. I can get my shit together. So, here it is. Let's see how freaking gorgeous this is. Like, so good. Alright, so there's a series of colors that are calling me inside this palette. I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of want to do like a red pink situation, I think. Oh my god, I honestly don't know. Alright, yeah. So I'm going to start with a Zoeva 230 brush. It's a pencil brush, I think. This is like when you get a new palette and you're like, oh! But I also have been really uninspired lately, and this is like making me excited. Like, it's exciting me. So I like have to play with the colors. Does that make sense? And it's already 2:20 and your girl has to leave in an hour. So I gotta hurry. I think I'm gonna go into Tipsy Girl. It's this, whoa, I'm gonna hold the palette upside down just because it's easier for me. It's this bright neon pink right here. I'm not sure, honestly, if it's picking up on camera just how bright the shade is, but hopefully once it's on the eye, it does. I'm gonna just, wow. Okay. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow. This is like, this is really pigmented, you guys. And, I mean, like, obviously I can't speak for all the colors in the palette, but as far as this one shade, the way it looks in the pan is the way it looks on the eye. So, like, you know, sometimes you, like, jump into a palette and what, like, the color just doesn't translate the same way, and it's super frustrating because you had, like, a color palette in mind, and that's not what it is. But that's not the case, at least not with this color. I'm just kind of like packing this color on. I'm not really buffing it out yet. I'm just trying to create an outline for this for now. Wow. Wow. This is really, really neon. Like, it's a good, this is a good neon. Okay, so I think what I want to do next is go into Lolly Mama, which is, I just lost it. It's this one here. It's the next lighter shade from Tipsy Girl. I hope I'm not making a bad decision here. And this is a Morphe M506 that I'm going to just use to buff right on top of Tipsy Girl. So I do want this look to stay pretty pink, at least up here, before I add a darker shade to my lid. Alright, so now I'm taking a clean Morphe M506. If you don't have another one, of course, just use whatever brush you just used for the previous step and just add some instant brush cleaner. And I'm going to do a little bit of this Perfectionist shade mixed with Certified. I'm going to dabble in between the two just to pick up, like, because Perfectionist is a beautiful shade, but I feel like I wanted it to be a little bit lighter than it is. So I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Certified, and we're going to use that to be like our, not transition shade, of course, but like sort of transition shade, you know what I mean? Yes, it's perfect. Definitely more Perfectionist than Certified, but I think by adding Certified, it gave me the look that I was looking for. Just like if it helps, like 2 dabs Perfectionist, 1 dab Certified will kind of like get you this color that I want. That is, of course, if you are recreating this at home. Going back with the other M506 that had Lolly Mama on it, and I'm just further blending just a little bit. Wow. These colors are blending together beautifully. There's no skipping. Not even a little bit, honestly, you guys. Alright, next I'm going to take a bold move, and I really hope I don't regret this, honestly. Really hope I don't regret this. I'm going to go into this red shade, Live in My... Ooh. No! I just put a nail scratch in thick skin. I'm going to pick up this shade here, this Live in My Best, and I'm going to start it on a flat brush. This is a Morphe M421. I'm going to put this right here on my lid. And the reason I'm packing it is just because I don't want it to kind of go everywhere. I kind of want to keep it exactly where I have empty space for it. Wow, this is pigmented. Wow. And the shimmer is very, very subtle in this shade, by the way, just so you know. I'm sure all of you are looking at me like, bitch, you look crazy. I know, I do, and that's alright, because now I'm picking up my Morphe M562. I was like, M562, no sis. And I'm gonna go right into Live in My Best again, that red shade. And the reason I'm doing this on just a really small brush is because this will help me blend out the color after I packed it on, and keep it kind of in the space that I need it to stay in, rather than it kind of going everywhere and overpowering the pink, because that's exactly what I don't want it to do. So I'm gonna put this right into my natural crease, and I'm gonna start by lightly buffing in the color with this brush, and little by little I'm going to bring it up until it blends seamlessly with the pink. Honestly, guys, I love pink eyeshadows. Like, I love warm eyeshadows in general, so I don't really like fuck with blues like that, but like pinks and reds and browns and bronzes and golds, like, that's my jam, if you couldn't tell from any video on this channel so far. That's where it's at. And if you can't see so far, there is very minimal fallout. Like, it was mostly from the red shade. I have some over here and over here, but for the most part there isn't very much. There is fallout in the pan, which I think is to be expected, especially when you're dealing with such bold shadows that are really pigmented. I find that if you are dealing with a less pigmented palette, you won't see that as much. So it just, like, I'm willing to deal with pan fallout as long as I'm getting the payoff on my eyes, which, as you can tell, I am. So yeah. Then, just because of course your girl can't not have any shimmer today, I'm gonna take Empowered. Very little, like I'm picking up a super small amount on my Morphe M421 again, and I'm just patting this on top of Live in My Best. Couldn't remember what the shade was called. And nothing major, like just a little bit. It'll just add like a little sparkle, so like if you catch my eyes in certain light, you'll probably see it, but at first glance you might not. And it is, I'm going to show it to you guys in a second, I just realized I didn't. It is a blend of a red and a pink plummy shade, all kind of like mesh into one shadow. Ah, boom. So this is the shade right here, Empowered. So yeah, I can't really tell if you guys can like tell on camera, just because like camera's here, monitor's here. I'm like but yeah. Now my desk is a mess. It's just so much is happening. Next, we're gonna jump into the skin. We're gonna leave the eyes alone just for a little minute here. I'm gonna use my Glow Recipe Watermelon Pink Juice Moisturizer, and I'm packing this, onto a MAC 190 brush. It's not a skincare brush, but I do like it for this moisturizer. And I just realized I'm like so excited. I finally get to share with you. Wow, I'm just pulling red eyeshadow everywhere. Coming concealer to the rescue. my new updated base routine. I did actually film a video the week of Valentine's Day to show to you guys, and honestly, so much was going on that day that like the video literally took me, I think, 5 hours to film a basic like Valentine's Day date night kind of look. And like I just went through it. My camera died, I had to charge the battery, my friend called, and we were like dealing with some drama that I'll share with you guys in another video. And then I ran out of memory on my SD card, and I had to switch. I was just like, too much is happening. And so by the end of the video, I realized I wasn't even wearing the same shirt anymore. And I was just like, this is a mess, and I really need to just 86 it. It's okay. I'm admitting defeat in this particular situation. So yeah. All right. So I went ahead and let my moisturizer seep into the skin some, and I'm gonna go in with my Milk Hydro Grip primer. I'm getting really bad at remembering to show you guys. Like, I'm telling you what I'm using, but I'm not showing it to you, and that's my bad. Like, when did I become such a shitty YouTuber? Ugh. And I put primer all the way down to my neck just because sometimes I tend to blend my foundation. I'm like, what the fuck am I saying right now? Blend my foundation all the way down there. And it's just better for me. Like, I just feel more at ease if it's there. Next, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick to contour. This is in the shade Cool Earth, and I'm actually going to use a concealer brush to apply this. So I like to just pick up a hefty amount of product on my brush, and I go ahead and contour as I normally would. Now, the last time I did a video with you guys, I was doing this after foundation. That is no longer the case. I got this technique from Amreezy's Insta tutorial, and I've been doing it ever since, and I am gagged over how much better my makeup has been looking, like the outcome. And also just like how long my makeup has been lasting. And of course, it's a win-win because I use way less foundation. I'm using the same amount of concealer and contour, but my foundation usage has gone down drastically. So that's kind of like money saver for me. So right after I'm done putting my contour in my normal places, I go right ahead with my Morphe E8 brush, and I just blend it out directly onto my skin. So absolutely nothing about this has changed. It's just when, like, the order, that's what I was like trying to think of. The order in which I put this on has now changed. I'm sure right now a lot of you are like, what the fuck? And I promise you, the first time I did my makeup like this, I was literally sitting at my vanity and I was like, I have to go to work with no makeup now because this is gonna look so bad. Like, by the time I finish this, if I don't like it, I'm fucked, and I have to, like, I won't have time to, like, do it over. So I was literally mentally prepared to run to the bathroom, wash my face off, and just go to work completely barefaced and be like, I tried. But it actually worked, and I'm so glad that it did. So now I take my concealer. This is the Born This Way Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. My shade is Butterscotch, and I go ahead and highlight the way that I normally would. Now, I will say, I used to not spread this out this wide. I do now, and you'll see why in a second. It doesn't require really any more, like, that much more concealer than what I was already using there anyway in the first place, so it's not really like a hassle. So I'm gonna let this sit for just a second, and then I'm gonna buff it out. This is like not any different than what I was doing 6 months ago. So, or, you know, maybe even more than that. So yeah, I'm gonna just let this settle. Makes no sense for you to basically sit here and literally watch paint dry. So I'll be right back in just a second and we'll buff this out. Alright, so as usual, I'm taking my damp beauty blender. I don't know why I sang that like that, but as usual, I'm taking my damp beauty blender. No more water, should be just a tiny smidge. That's okay. Coming out of this, but I'm going ahead and, you know, buffing it out. And right around here, I'm going to pull it out just a smidge. And, you know, this has been a trial and error process, so I am still learning new, like, ways to kind of, like, tweak this as I'm going. But I have found that when I pull this out more, once I add the foundation, it's blending so much nicer. So, yeah. I'm going to go up my nose first. I really like to let this under eye socket area sit the longest, just so it can really, like, penetrate the skin. Now I'm sure you're like, you look a mess. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do. I'm not gonna keep looking a mess though, and that's the most important part. So now I'm gonna take my Tarte Shape Tape again, and I'm going to use the shade Tan. This is a lot lighter than my Butterscotch shade, and even lighter, whoa, and even lighter than the Tan Sand that I had put on my eyelids previously. And I'm gonna use this to further brighten a few areas. So it's gonna be here, down the bridge of my nose. This is kind of when you need to keep that line pretty precise. And then right here in my Cupid's bow. Okay, because that's where your girl likes to really be highlighted for the gods. Once again, I'm going to let this sit, and then I'm going to take the butt of my beauty blender, and I'm going to use my Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation. And I'm using such a little bit, like just a dollop. Do a dollop of Daisy. And I'm going to go right in this area. I like to first, like, just, you know, just so I can get an idea of where I'm putting it. And then, literally, I'm going to go over, not the middle of my face, but I'm going to go all around the perimeter of my face, going over my contour. But because we use so little, it won't completely mask the contour. So that's what we're doing. And the reason I'm putting it over my contour is so that my contour is not as harsh as it normally is. And it will help to further blend out, like blend together, the really bright highlighting concealer and the really dark contour foundation that we were trying so hard to marry together, which, like, you know, I found that without going all the way over my contour, I was like getting a muddier finish. And by just using the foundation, I was getting a cleaner, more seamless blend. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with my beauty blender, the other side, and I'm gonna buff out where I brightened, like where I added the Shape Tape. Bitch, we are looking good! For the most part. You still ain't got no eyelashes, sis. Eyeballs bald. That's Mr. Clean. Alright, so now I'm going to take my ABH, I'm like out here, my ABH setting powder. The shade I use is Golden Peach. And first I'm going to start by using the mostly clean side. Now, we've used all sides of this damn beauty blender. She has been abused. I'm going to use the mostly clean side. I'm going to tap right into there. And I'm going to pat on the back of my hand just a little bit to tap off the excess. And I'm going to go under my eye because that's the area where I get the most creasage. Creasage, is that a word? I don't think so. And then I'm actually going to switch. So now I'm using my Fenty sponge. So I'm going to pick up some powder on this, on the flat side. And I'm gonna go ahead and start by patting this in. And of course, carving out my contour. So anyway, all I'm doing right now is I am taking my Morphe M523 and I am taking my Morphe bronzer. The shade is Phenom. And I'm just patting this in with this particular brush. And then we're going to go over it again and I'm going to show you guys why in a second. Okay. Now I'm taking my Kat Von D brush. This is the number 20. It's a powder brush. And I'm just going to pat my setting powder into my skin. There's powder everywhere. Alright, so now if you guys can see, my contour is a little straight line-ish and I don't really like that look. So I'm taking a Morphe M527 brush. It's a really, as you can see, I already have used it before and I did not clean it before this video, and if you got something to say, keep it to yourself. But yeah, so Morphe M527. I'm going to go back into my bronzer and now I'm going to add my bronzer again. And this time I'm going to be a little less precise about where it goes, just so that once again the setting powder, well, not once again, but like the setting powder and the bronzer will kind of marry itself together rather than it looking like two completely separate entities. So I do like to set it with that brush so that the liquid is not moving everywhere, and then once it's been set, I go in with this and I can kind of rustle it about and not really notice the product beneath it become very muddy, because that has happened to me before. And it ain't cute, sis. He's not cute. We're gonna go, now we're gonna go back. Why does my hair, it's like this just wants to live like this. It's because I cut it by myself. And now it's like, you'd have thought. Now we're gonna go back into the palette and I'm gonna do my under eyes. But I'm gonna use my Morphe that's a lie. My Morphe E36, and I'm gonna go into this shade. Where am I going? Yes, this shade Crazy down here. Top off the excess so I don't have a lot of fallout, and I'm gonna just buff this on my lower lash line. And if you're using a pencil brush, you shouldn't really have very much fallout at all. Like, honestly, you shouldn't have any. But very little very little fallout if you have any at all is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, now I'm using the same pencil brush as I was using before, and I'm going in with Tipsy Girl, the first shade that we started with. This, just a reminder, it's a Zoeva 230 brush, and I'm going to put this right underneath. Then I'm going to add a little bit of Living My Best, which was the red shade. Kind of like in between the two just to deepen it. I love doing like on my lower lash line all the same colors that I did on the top, but then adding a slightly different shade just to create a little bit of depth and contrast. I really like that. And so that's where that first shade Crazy came in. Perfect. Now, because I'm feeling the dark lower lash line vibes, I'm going to go in with my MAC Kohl pencil in Feline, and I'm just going to line my lash line. Then, of course, I like to take the brush and go over the, like, seriously? I'm going to go over the pencil with this, and I'm going to dip it into Crazy, of course, to help marry the two again. Now, on a Zoeva 237, I'm going to pick up this shade Ride or Diamonds, which I think is absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to actually use this as my highlight color in my inner corner. Pick up just a little bit, and then I'm spritzing it with my Tatcha Dewy Mist. Alright. Wow. So pretty. Alright, now that that's all done, we're going to move on to the rest of the face. I'm going to go in with some blush. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Blush in the shade Swift, and a Sephora 74 brush. I love this brush. It's a small blush brush. And so with this particular blush, I like to really pull it up just because it blends so beautifully with the bronzer shade that I have. Now we're going to just move on to some highlighting. And I'm using my Jaclyn Hill. What are these? These are the Luminous Powders. The shade I'm using is Brilliant. And then I use a fan brush for this. And I like to just pour some into the top. Tap my fan brush right in. Excuse me. And then I start on my cheeks and I pull it back. And then I also go in the middle of my forehead. And I love the way that, like, once I add the highlighter, it just looks like all of my skin is so luminous. And if you feel like you need to, just pick up your blush brush again and add a little bit more to just kind of push it. I like to pat it when I'm doing this and just really push it into the skin. Alright, so I'm going to pop off camera really quickly. I'm going to put my lashes on, and I'll be back with you guys to finish up mascara, lips, and of course highlight, because we want to be highlighted for the gods. So I'll be back in just a sec. Alright guys, so I'm back. Lashes are on, and so is mascara, and so far I am in love with this look. Honestly, so in love. So we're going to just go ahead and finish up. As I said earlier, your girl has places to go, people to see, things to do. So I'm in a bit of a time crunch now. It's 3:30. So I'm taking, once again, my Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist, and I'm going to cover my eyes this time and give myself, okay, yeah, there we go, a couple pumps on the cheek. And now I'm taking, if I can find it, oh, there it is. Now I'm taking an A23 brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going into my Jaclyn Hill, the Flare Highlighter Palette, and I'm taking the shade Glow Up. It's this one here, right there. I just pop this onto my cheeks. Love it. So freaking bright. I'll just dust the leftover onto my forehead. Wow, so pretty. I like to put it on my nose and down the bridge, and then I like to just tap it out. Do you guys see this? I wish somebody would tell me this. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut, sis. Now I'm going to move on to my lips. This is the, I'm going to show it to you guys, but none of y'all are going to come for me right now because I have another one. I just honestly don't know where it is right now. So I'm stuck using this one, and we're just going to let it be. This is my Wherever Walnut pencil from Makeup Forever. One of my favorite lip liners, and I'm just lining my lips with it. It's like about that time for a fresh, you know, lip fill. And then this is the matte lipsticks from Makeup Forever. I think the shade's 101. Honestly, you guys, it's kind of like rubs off the bottom, so I'm not positive. But it's essentially the perfect match for the Wherever Walnut pencil. So I don't know if that helps or not. And then my favorite lip gloss at the moment is the Iconic London lip plumping glosses. This shade that I'm going to wear today is Love Struck. This is actually one of my favorite shades as well. Honey, dude. Okay. I'm done. Wow. A 10 when they rate her like tomb. Okay, I'm done. Alright guys, so that concludes this makeup look. I am honestly so pleased. Like, honey, I'm not the same rusty, crusty girl who started this video. I'm not, okay? She left and Shalia checked in. I don't know who she was. But yeah, my thoughts on the Jaclyn Hill palette, my honest to God thoughts. I spent my hard-earned dollars on that palette, so this is an unbiased review. I know Jaclyn has had some history with her launches lately, but I did take a leap of faith and I went with this just because I do really like her and I do love her creativity. I like where her mind goes. It's very much my style of products, so I did want to go ahead and support this, and I'm so glad I did. These colors blend so beautifully, and I'm saying that as a previous, like as a consumer of Morphe products. This is not my first time purchasing from Morphe. I have had products from Morphe that skip, and I didn't, at least for the 5 or so colors that I used today. I think, yeah, I used 5 colors. Yeah, I'm really so happy with this. I have honestly nothing negative to say about it. And of course, just, I tried to use a lot of Morphe products in this video just so you could see how they kind of all layer together. I probably should have used my Morphe concealer and foundation. I guess I really didn't think about that. It just didn't cross my mind. I kind of wish that I did now that I'm basically done. But maybe I'll do a full Morphe tutorial for you guys in the future. Just let me know if you guys actually want to see that. If you want to see more looks with this palette, I'm more than happy to do them. I'm actually really excited to do them. Like I said a few minutes ago, I have been really uninspired lately, and this just kind of like put me back in the place that I kind of wanted to be in over the last few weeks. So thank you Morphe, and thank you Jaclyn for that. But yeah, like I said, absolutely nothing negative to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to head out, and if you did, please don't forget, like I asked in the beginning, just subscribe. It helps me out a long, long way. And then if it helps me out, it then further helps you out. Of course, will continue to push out and pump out as many videos as I can. I do work 5 days a week, so sometimes it's a little tough, but like I said, I'm really, 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 really looking forward to putting out more videos with you guys. So, of course, subscribe, click the bell, and of course, give this video a thumbs up. And leave a comment if you've got something you guys want to say, whether it's another type of video you'd like to see, asking me questions about this look in particular, want to see anything, skincare, makeup, hair, it doesn't matter. Let me know. I'm more than happy to jump on here, sit here, and film for you guys. So I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.